Gluttony is a quantity. It is in the inability to control yourself so that you just need to keep doing this thing over and over and over. When you think of gluttony, you think of a fat person, right? You think of somebody who's kind of a bit on the hefty side, can't close a cookie jar exactly. That's not really what gluttony is, right? It's an aspect, it's a great example of gluttony, but gluttony is simply somebody who cannot control themselves and needs this thing, okay? So it is anybody with an addiction, right? If you're addicted to cigarettes, if you're addicted to some kind of drug like heroin, if you're addicted to gambling, okay? And if you're addicted to food, even better, if you want to hit the 2-for-1 on this one, if you're addicted to sex, okay? Because that is definitely an addiction, okay? That is the huge problem, right? So at some point, so if we're going to go back by the sex example, at some point, lust will become gluttony, okay? And it can be anything. You can use sex as an example. You can use any other type of example. Lust, which is just simply desire, turns into now I have it and now I need it. That's why it's the chain. And I'm not going to say it quite yet, but if you're picking up what I'm putting down with this one, you kind of get where I'm going with greed being the third part of this, right? So, how do we combat this? Well, obviously, you have the Armor of God, which is put on Snapchat at LJ Savello. If you have not checked that out already, please do so. And the other one would be, of course, the fruits of the Spirit. Look at us. Look at this little colliding of worlds right here. We get to go back to day 4, day 5, somewhere in there. If we go to Galatians 23, the final fruit of the Spirit is temperance, self-control, the ability to control yourself. So if you have the Holy Spirit in your life, you're able to control yourself. Why is it important to control yourself? Because Paul, back in Corinthians, explains it to us. You were given to yourself by God. You do not own yourself. Your body is not yours, okay? You do not have this bodily autonomy idea, right? Because it's not your body. It's God's body that he is basically lending to you, right? It's a gift. He's saying, you can have this, but do not ruin it. Do not destroy it. Do not abuse it, right? If you or your father, pretend this is a phone, gave you a phone, and he said, hey, it's yours, but remember, it's actually mine, okay? This is your phone, but I own it. I'm paying for it. And if you break it, I'm going to be very upset with you, right? So that's the exact same thing with our body, right?